What up, you beautiful people out there in podcast land? We're here with Straytopix. My name's Eddie. I am the one and only, the Millennial. And I got next to me the mic whisperer. It's me. And the greatest of old timers, Troy.
I don't much like that. And you're going to have to change that or I'm going to start hitting you in the nose.
You are the goat.
You're the goat,
Greatest
sir.
of old timers.
Hey, you said it first. And we are going to talk about...
I'd be the goot.
The goot.
G-O-O-T.
And
I'm a goat.
You do have the goat sound on there. It sounds about right.
Yeah, well, let's play it.
Yeah.
Since you said that. Here we go. Here it is. Here's me out in the farm.
Is that when somebody touches your butt?
Yeah. Unbelievable.
So we're going to be talking about city versus country living. You all know if you live in the country, you know, and then then you live in the city when the lights go out in the city.
Oh, Lord. Jeez.
Just to serenade a few out there.
Yeah, well, sorry, folks.
Sorry about that, guys.
Oh, they loved it.
If I knew he was going to do that, I would have muted him.
Yeah,
sorry.
I try to be spontaneous sometimes.
I can edit that out in post.
Don't edit it out. It was my superstar moment.
Superstar.
Mike Whisper.
Yes.
So it is a big difference, though, city versus country living. You say?
Of course it is. You know, if you've ever lived in the city, like I have.
What city did you live in?
I was born in Detroit, Michigan, and I lived in
8
Detroit.
Mile. You lived in 8 Mile.
I lived in Detroit, Michigan from we went back up there, and I lived there from 1979 to 1981.
Before I was born.
We moved to Tennessee, and then I went back up there and actually went to high school for a year, my sophomore year of high school.
Was high school rough up there?
It is rough up there. You know,
Yeah.
the high school I was supposed to go to, which is called Chatsey. It's in Detroit, pretty much downtown Detroit. It's one of the most, I guess, out of Detroit, it's one of the most notorious schools for having things happen. You know, they've got metal detectors on the doors. They got gates and locks. I mean, most schools up there do.
Yeah, you see, we don't see that kind of stuff down here.
You don't see any of that stuff down here. Matter of fact, when I went to high school at Sevier County High School, you know, they've actually got gates that lock the halls, but they don't ever use them. But in Michigan, they use them, and they actually lock you in. Like when you go to lunch, they actually lock you in the lunchroom.
Did you feel safe?
But you would think that would be a fire thing, but you know, some kind of fire hazard.
I don't know.
If it ever caught on fire, people would be pushed up against that gate, of course.
Sounds like Titanic in a way, too.
But I mean,
stuck in that gate, couldn't get out.
That's the thing. You know, there's so many big differences from living in a city versus living in the country. I've lived in both. I've lived in a couple of different cities. Detroit being probably the most, I would say, city that I've lived in. You know?
Of course, probably one of the biggest cities.
And it is. I mean, it's not like New York, but I mean, it is pretty.
Well,
the thing I notice about cities like that, and even New York, you know, even though there's some beautiful stuff in New York, and there's a lot of beautiful stuff in New York, but the actual city itself is just nasty and dirty as crap.
Because of pollution?
I'm not even talking about just because of the way it is there. You know, you can't really just clean everything.
Yeah.
I mean, you go down and get on a subway train, and it stinks like piss. I mean, it
probably
smells.
because they've done that.
So that's what they've done. I mean,
I mean, people probably have, but I mean, it just smells like pee.
Did they have bathrooms around? I mean,
Oh, yes.
well, the thing about it is,
they had a few outhouses out there.
Yeah, no, they just find a corner somewhere.
As soon as the train pulls up, everybody gets out of the house. But you know, it's just a lot different. You know, when you live in the country, everything's laid back for the most part.
It's slower.
You have a lot of room too. That's the other thing.
As far as your housing, did you live in like an apartment or did you live in a?
You know, it's funny when we moved up there. We lived we lived in a house. It was actually on Lumley Street up in Michigan.
Can you say that again 3 times fast?
Lumley. And
Dang.
we actually rented a house
did
from some neighbors that she kind of became my grandma. I called her grandma. We rented a house from them. This house was built in the 20s.
Oh.
So
back in my day,
it was a very old type house.
It took me.
But you know, the cool thing about it though is the house was very unique inside. I mean, it was cool for a kid that's 8, 9 years old. You had some cool places to play in that house. I mean, the closets were big and long, so you could get inside them, and there's almost like a room to themselves.
He came out of the closet.
Yes, I did. But anyway, just kidding. But even in my bedroom, there was like a small little, it looked like a closet. When you opened it up, it was actually a stairwell. They went up to the attic, and there was another room up there. It's just really
stairwell.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, it's cool as crap.
Was there any ghosts in this house?
No ghosts in the house.
How about demons?
They all had big basements, believe it or not, for some reason. I don't know why. Yeah,
that is interesting.
I think because they stored a lot of their food and stuff like that down there. No.
Yeah.
Ours even had a chute to put your clothes down in. They would drop down into a big basket in the basement.
Did you ever ride down in that?
No, I didn't do that. I'm surprised my brothers and sisters didn't shove me down in that. My brothers and sisters were notorious for torturing me when I was little. They stuck me in a dryer, and we went around and around and around. Now, they didn't close the door, but they just watched me. They said, like, if you don't brace yourself, you're going to flop, flop, flop. So it was funny as crap, actually, now.
Well, now we know what's wrong with you.
My sister used to try to scare the crap out of me and stick me in closets and crap. They were mean to me. They were really mean.
Is that why you get high pitched whenever something's going on?
Yeah, because it's scary. But, houses in the city they're not real. Yeah. I mean, they're big.
Yeah,
but compared to today's standards, I mean, the rooms were real small, But you had a big living room, big kitchen or dining room, medium-sized kitchen. You always had a basement. And this house even had the little screw-in fuses. You know how nowadays you got breakers and all that stuff. These had the little screw-in fuses that would blow every once in a while. You'd have to go down and change them, you know. But it was really cool. I mean, it was a cool house for its time. Mm-hmm. I've looked at it recently on Google Earth. Yeah, you can actually look. And I looked at it. Of course, the house is falling apart now, and because nobody lives there anymore. And the other house that my grandma, I call her, used to live in, it burned down, and they wound up demolishing it. And it was a beautiful house too. It had all kinds of neat rooms.
So, was you in the suburbs then, like not really in the city, or was it the city?
We were in.
So it was the city. See, I always thought.
I mean, you could walk down to the end of my street, and there was a bridge going over I-94, and then you were actually in the city part where the buses actually ran. You took a bus everywhere. We took the bus to the mall.
That's always
to watch a movie. It's a lot different. I mean, it really is.
Yeah, see, I don't know how to subscribe to that because I've been in the country all my life. You can tell by my accent.
Your accent. That's the biggest thing see, I'm already in country. Yeah. That was the biggest thing when I came from Detroit down here. I can't say that. But anyway, when I came down here from Detroit, people were like, you talk funny. I'm like,
you talk funny, boy.
I said, you mean I talk normal?
You got teeth.
And even, and the funny thing is, I lived down here for a little while and went back up there.
What is that in Deliverance? You got a pretty mouth.
Okay, now this is getting too far out there. But even when I came down here and lived a little bit and went back up there, people would say, I can't really tell that you're from down there because people really have a wang down there.
A wang. We got a wang down here.
That ain't what I mean. All right, that's pretty bad. But anyway, people could tell, that you were from the South or that you were from the North because you either shortened your pronunciations, like LaGuardia.
What is that?
What is that? LaGuardia Airport.
LaGuardia.
Airport, that's airport.
Oh, I didn't know what it was anyway.
And that's the way people say it up there. And I was like, what did you say? I had a hard time.
What did you say?
And I spent like a week for the company I worked with, Dan River. I spent a week in New York City. So you talk about a culture shock after living in the South for 20 years and going up there for a week and living in the city for a week, actually living on like 41st Street, like 7 blocks from Times Square.
They probably thought you was country as cornbread.
Well, the funniest thing is I went into the store and I'm like, can I get some gravy and biscuits? They're like, what the hell is gravy?
What is that?
Biscuits.
Sweet tea.
Biscuits? And sweet tea. They didn't have sweet tea. Even McDonald's.
So what do they call gravy and biscuits in New York?
They don't.
You don't even eat it. You don't make that up there.
They're like, that's a southern.
Here.
Even sweet tea, they're like, that's a southern thing. We don't do that.
Yeah, we don't do that. You can
get hot tea, but you can't get like sweet iced tea.
We just give you this unsweet stuff.
I thought that was crazy as crap. So what you got was a ham, egg, and cheese on a roll.
Oh,
that's what you would order up there for breakfast.
Well, ain't that something?
Doesn't sound appetizing at all.
Well, no, it was very good. Very good. I have to hands off New Yorkers. I mean, they have good food.
Oh, I'm sure they do. I'd love to go to that Cat's Deli up there. It'd be pretty sweet.
We went down to Chinatown. Actually, ate at an authentic Chinese restaurant. Man, it was phenomenal. They brought everything out.
You just chose what you want.
It was awesome, and I'd never been. I'd never been to. I've been to Chinese restaurants.
Did you talk like them?
I didn't. I tried not to
No,
talk because they'd make
see,
fun of me.
People don't know Abe. Abe, when he tells a story and he's trying to say it from a different person that might sound different, he'll actually do the voiceovers and everything. He does the whole stories. It's fun.
I did that.
He don't mean to do it, but he just does it.
It was. I don't know why I do that.
What's he do?
Like when Bob was going to his doctor, and I forget the doctor's name now, but it was kind of funny. And I come back to say what the doctor said, and I would talk like he did,
like the doctor did,
like an Indian type. And I'd be like. Yeah. Now, I would just start talking like it.
Come on, you gotta do it. You gotta do it.
I wouldn't even think. I don't even know.
You gotta do it.
You have to be around it. I figured he'd be like, I don't know, tung 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 or something.
You have to.
I can't do it
anyway.
Now I don't make fun of it,
but I
think
was
it's
explaining
awesome.
things exactly as I heard it. Is why I did that. So.
Yeah, he does that.
So it's kind of funny.
He's a good storyteller.
But those are things. When you go into a big city,
that'd be cool.
I was amazed. I mean, when I went into the big city and I saw the huge billboards. I'm talking the side of a building.
Yeah.
Billboard and it was electric and lit up. It was like so much eye candy you couldn't even. You were like, man, this is just too much stuff to try to comprehend at one time.
I'd be like, Dorothy, I'm not in Kansas now.
Well, even when my son and my wife went up there for a day or two, like at the tour New York, my son was like, now this is a real city, because it's huge. I mean, even Detroit. I mean, it's huge too. I mean, you ride buses everywhere. I mean, it wasn't nothing to get on a bus and ride 10 miles up the road to the mall. It's just crazy compared to being in the country and everything being so spaced out. You didn't even have a yard.
That's the thing.
Had like a strip in the front of
it. See, that's the thing for me. That's the thing for me. I don't think I can live in the city. I'm so used to being. I've lived here all my life. I'm so used to having a lot of room.
Yeah.
To breathe.
You get used to it.
I don't know. I don't know if I could live right next to somebody.
I've always
I'd be like, shut up over there.
It wasn't like that. I mean, there's like maybe 4 or 5, 6 feet between the houses. Oh, there was like a little alleyway between each house.
Yeah, but that's still too close. I mean, I could spit out the window and into their living room.
I've always
definitely had to have curtains.
I've always wanted to work in the city to be able to have like an office up in one of the skyscrapers to be able to look.
That's the millennial in you.
Is that not cool though?
That's like the New York thing though.
It is. It's super cool, man. Like I don't know. I always wish I had a job like that, even though I'm terrified of it.
I wish you had a job like that too.
That means you get my job.
But living when I came back down here, I love the South. I love living in the South. I love living in Tennessee. The second time we went up there, I was so homesick for the South, actually. And I was just like, I just want to go home. I would tell my parents that every single day. They probably got sick of hearing it from me. Because you got to understand, my mom and dad were like traveling gypsies. My dad was in the Air Force, so we were constantly going places anyway. And even when he got out of the Air Force, we still kept moving, like we were transferring to a new base, But I longed for coming back down here, and I lived in Sevier County at the time, and I just loved it. I was like,
I get it.
That's home to me, because because we traveled around so much. That was the one place that I had lived the longest.
See, I love being in Tennessee. Even though we get the idea whenever you'll hear people from outside of Tennessee, it's up in the north. They wear overalls and they run around barefoot with a few teeth in their mouth. And that is not true.
I have seen you that way.
It's not true. We look like
when you
other
have your
folks
teeth
too.
in.
But you get that stereotype of idea from movies. Once again, get from movies. But
what's funny though is people from the north want to come down here to live and retire.
Yeah, they do. They do come down here lots.
Mainly because they've made because cost of living's so high up there. They can come down here and live really nice.
Right.
Well, what's funny is they moved down to Tennessee, and then people in Tennessee moved down to Florida.
Everybody's going south.
Everybody's moving south.
Well, it's warmer too. Think about it. If you're up in the north, it's cold. All the time? Well, pretty much all the time.
Yeah.
So I guess when you want to move down, so you don't have to wear big coats and have snow all over the place.
So this was a cool thing.
It's cleaner.
Though. When you were in the city, and I took the bus to the mall. I went to this mall called Fairlane Mall. It's gone now, but. It was like a triple-story mall, had 3 levels, had a monorail that actually ran from the motel through the mall. And, I'd go there to look at computer games at the time, because computers were a big thing in the games. You could go into the drugstore. I remember being an Eckerd's drugstore, and it had more computer games than probably Walmart has now.
Oh, wow.
It was a drugstore.
And it was a drugstore, and it sold computer games. And I thought that was just cool as crap.
I got a question. Did you do all this by yourself? I know you said when you were young, you got to go anywhere in the city.
Me and my friend Steve, Steve Miller. He'll probably never be listening
From
to
the
this.
Steve Miller Band.
Seriously, I mean, Steve and I were really good friends when he was 9 years old, and we had another friend,
In
Ronnie.
the city at 9, walking around.
And
Crazy.
but me and him rode the bus down there, just me and him. I was probably, let's see, the second time, I was probably 12 or 13 years old. Just
So wait,
walk out, get on the bus, ride it. It was nothing.
he has to be the luckiest man, or God really wanted him on this earth.
I'll tell you,
you should
yes.
have been dead, man. That's
I know.
crazy.
Yeah, well, it's crazy to think now because nobody lets their kids out of the front yard even without you being out there.
Yeah.
Right.
I went everywhere by myself. Yes, it is amazing now. I would never let my child do that now, but it was crazy. I mean, that was just the norm up there.
Yeah, well, crime is a lot different nowadays than it used to be.
Oh yeah.
So I'm assuming. I mean,
Now, crime up there was pretty bad at times. I mean, you had a lot of drugs,
yeah.
a lot of drunk people. In
No
the city.
mafia, huh? You said no mafia, right?
Oh, well, I don't. There probably was mafia.
I'm sure there
at the time.
was.
I'm surprised you didn't join it.
I wasn't alive when the mafia was there.
Oh, sorry.
So, you know.
Wrong era.
There's
Sorry,
no-
that's Troy's era.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
There's no Claudius there taking over Detroit. you know,
Claudius. They're all from Italy,
But
I think.
as much as I complain about Detroit, there was things about Detroit I liked. I mean, there really was. I walked.
I'm
to
sure it
school.
wasn't the lines.
No, well, actually, no. I did go to see the Tigers play once.
Yeah.
So that was kind of cool in the old stadium, and the cool thing. And actually, there's a place down there in Detroit. I can't remember the name of it. It's probably not there now anymore. But it was like a little small cafe like thing, and man, they made the best burgers. I mean, talk about places around here in the South, the big, thick, juicy. Man, it's the best burgers I'd ever had.
Were they known for anything like
do you
that?
mean?
Like food?
Some things, but there isn't any particular food I don't think in Detroit that they're known for as far as I
Okay.
know.
Well, what are y'all when you were up there, were y'all like proud of Detroit Rock City? I've heard that. I don't even know
We
what.
were proud of
Kiss.
Detroit.
Detroit Rock City.
I mean, you had a lot of musicians come out of Detroit.
Yeah, there
it
is.
seems to be, yeah.
But it was really cool to grow up during that time. I walked to school every day. I mean, my school was like a block and a half away,
Oh, yeah.
and it's just crazy. I mean, nowadays I would never let my child walk to school, but it's like it's nothing up there, and that's what they do.
It's a norm for them up
Yeah,
there.
Yeah, I
And of
picture-
course, it snowed like
Oh,
up
yeah,
there,
I bet.
but you still went to school.
Yeah, they didn't cancel school because of one
No.
flake flew out of there.
Not at
Down
all.
here, they cancel school if you get one flake.
One
falls out of
flake,
the
it's
sky.
over.
Well,
See, I've always pictured Detroit as kind of dirty and industrial type place.
It is.
But I also pictured in the city that no one lived in regular houses. I always pictured them living in apartments that are in skyscrapers and stuff like that.
But they're not. No, I mean maybe
I didn't
in
know.
deep downtown Detroit, but I mean, we live just right outside of that.
Oh, okay.
The only thing I think about when I think of Detroit is GM, Ford, all the automakers.
Well, that's the thing. My dad worked for Cadillac.
Did he get to drive one?
Yes.
Oh.
They actually let him bring a brand new one home for his anniversary. It was like his 30th anniversary or something like that. They let him bring I'm talking about this plastic was still on the seats. And they let
He
him
told
bring
you
that-
not to remove it, didn't he?
Oh, yeah. I mean, he brought that thing home, and we rode around in it for the weekend. And then they just let him have it and let him bring it home. It was cool as crap. I was like,
So it's a
man,
company car.
sort of, yeah.
Where he gets to
I'm
take
sure
it.
they still sold it somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh.
But it
That's
was
pretty awesome.
really cool. I mean, and all he
That's
did
cool.
when he worked at Cadillac was he put floats in gas tanks. That was his job.
Huh.
I mean, it was a simple job, and he made good money. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
Can't
crazy.
complain there.
Mm.
But country, coming all the way down here, everything's spread out.
It is.
Even in Sevier County at the time during the early 80s, there wasn't a whole lot of... It ain't like it is now when you drive down 66, you got motels, shops, and all that crap. None of that stuff was there.
Yeah.
It didn't start till you got to the Pigeon Forge line.
Yeah.
And so Sevier County was kind of laid back then. It was a really good place to live. I mean, you didn't have to worry about... I mean, shoot, we go to Walmart, we leave our keys in the car. I mean, I walked to Walmart.
Yeah.
Up the hill both ways.
It's different now, though.
It is a lot different. But,
Yeah, it is.
But I love the certain aspects about the country, too. I loved going to Sevier County High School. I mean, I loved... my friends and all my friends were down here because that was the hardest thing when moving from town to town and town was I always would make friends and then I'd leave them.
Yeah.
And that was really hard growing up.
That would be
school-wise.
rough growing up, you
Yeah,
know, where you
I agree.
You live in an area and you make some good friends, and then being in the military.
But now the cool thing about coming down here and living in Sevier County was I had season passes to everything.
Yeah,
'Cause my mom,
north and south.
Yeah, I mean, my mom was the general manager at the time of Smoky Mountain Pancake House in Pigeon Forge. It's where Golden Corral is now.
Right.
And they had buffet, you know, and it was a very popular place to eat. So they give us free season passes. So I had season passes to Ogles Water Park at the time, which is no longer there.
Right.
I had season passes to Magic World, which is no longer there. I had season passes to Silver Dollar City,
which is no longer there.
Which is no longer there.
Which
Which
Dollywood.
used to be Dollywood, or is Dollywood now. And I had season passes to any of the water slides up there.
Right.
And it was a blast. I mean, when I hit, you know, as soon as school was out, I was at the water park my dad would drive up, drop me off, and pick me up when they closed. I'd stay there all day long.
And he'd come home looking red as a beet.
And it was the greatest, I mean, it was the funnest time of my life.
Sounds like you've lived, man, for sure. Getting to experience both sides is pretty cool.
Well, that's the thing me and Eddie can't, I don't know. Eddie, you ever lived in the city?
No.
I haven't either.
I've been to smaller cities.
The only city I know is Knoxville, Nashville. I do know a little bit about Memphis now that my daughter has moved there, and I'm not a fan. Sorry, Memphis.
No. It's hard to get around.
You get killed down there in a minute.
Well, and you've been to some of the bigger cities.
I've been, Atlanta.
Can you go to
some
Texas?
Of those places, but I've never been to New York. I did go to Texas, went to Dallas.
I'm telling you,
good
you
place.
haven't been somewhere, of course, right
Now, you've never been to, you've been to New York, they say.
I'm
Yeah,
serious,
that's
dude.
massive.
I mean, we even talked about, me and Ron talked about, you know, taking a plane up there, because it only takes like an hour and a half to get up there by plane.
Right.
We thought about one time maybe during Christmas or Thanksgiving in that area, just going up there and staying a couple of days and coming back. I mean, I know because I stayed a week up there, I kind of know where everything is, you know.
Right.
Even though it's been a while, but
I'd love to go, but I've never been.
So, question I have is weather changes from up there to here. How is that?
you know, that was a crazy thing. You know, I left down here going up there, and I had shorts and stuff on. You know, I mean, I had my work clothes, but I had a lot of shorts and stuff. And when I got up there, first day, yeah, it was hotter than a mother. I mean, it was humid, sticky hot. And then 2 days later, it snowed.
Yeah.
And then it was so windy and cold. Now I understand why people wear the trench coats up there, because it is freezing cold when the wind blows between
I didn't think it'd be humid up there.
Yeah, during the summer, you think about it, all that steel, all that stuff is right there compacted.
Yeah.
It gives you some unbelievable humidity. I mean, it really does.
Humidity's the worst.
But, you know, Nashville, I guess for cities that I've been to, I love Nashville. I'd love to go to New York. I've never been.
I would too.
I'd like to go to some of the big cities like, you know, New York, California, somewhere out in California.
Yeah.
Well,
L.A.
New York's got all
San
the...
Diego.
I've been to San Diego. I was real young, but I did go to San Diego
I
Zoo.
bet that's pretty out there. They say it's beautiful.
San Diego Zoo was huge.
And they say the weather's fabulous out there all the time.
Yeah, it was pretty nice. I don't
Sunny?
remember it being... Now, I do remember when I lived in Arizona. I lived on Williams Air Force Base.
I mean, it was cold out there
Mesa,
sometimes.
Arizona. It get cold at night,
Yeah.
but during the day,
Be
especially if
105.
it'd be super hot during the day. But we played down there, and we didn't even think nothing about it.
Right.
But when it would rain, because of the way the desert was, it would flood, like instantly flash flood.
Yeah.
Or we had this big ditch out behind our house, and man, that thing would just fill up, and it'd be like a river.
It's crazy.
I'd love to go out west to see it out there. And we may get out there. The farthest I've ever been is Dallas.
I've been all the way up to Alaska.
Have you? I've been to Canada. I have been up to Canada. I did go through Buffalo.
Yeah, I've been to Rochester up there.
I went through Buffalo going into Canada, but I was young and I don't remember anything.
Yeah.
But and it did look. I got to be honest with you. The thing I remember the most about it is the cities and things look dirty.
They were dirty.
Everything looked dirty.
Everything does kind of look dirty. It isn't. They say parts up in Upper Michigan are just like down here. They're beautiful.
Now I have been to a city in the South that is fabulous. And if you ever get a chance, you need to go, and that's Miami.
Oh, yeah.
I know they say Miami.
Miami.
Well, they say Miami is dangerous and all, but I'm going to tell you, it's beautiful down there.
I've never been that far south, I guess.
neither.
Been to the Keys,
Except for on a boat.
but that's not a city. I mean,
Yeah.
but Miami.
That's pretty cool.
Miami was beautiful.
And that was, how big was that compared to the other cities you've seen?
It was the biggest of the cities that I've seen. It's bigger than Nashville.
Really?
It's bigger than Memphis, I think.
See, I keep thinking, whenever I've been to some of the cities, they look smaller compared to New York. So
I've never been there. New York.
I've never been to New York, but I've seen
those are the two.
pictures,
New York and L.A. probably and San Francisco.
LA.
something like that.
Yeah,
So
now I would
the
like
top
to go
three.
to San Francisco. I think that would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, those are massive, so those kind of scare me. I mean, I'd like to go see them. I think that'd be cool, but I think it'd be scary.
See, that's where me and him differ. I've said this before. You just get out and travel and go.
Love it.
I'm scared to death to go to one of those cities. I'm afraid I'm going to be in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Well, you might be, but I love that. That's the thing that I hate about this Corona thing. We were talking this week, we love to travel. We love to get up and just go, and there won't be much of that going on this year, and there won't be nowhere to go.
This summer's going to be very boring.
This summer's going to be weird.
So I'm just going to ask you all, if you had a choice, I know you never live in the city, but if you had a choice to live anywhere, would it be a country type place or a city, where would it be?
Well, since I've lived always in the country, I would probably pick to move closer toward a city somewhere just to get a different perspective.
Gotcha.
For me, I would move closer to Nashville. And I know a lot of people say, that I know some people who lived out there and they say, you don't want to live out here. Traffic's horrible, blah, blah, blah. And I'm sure they're right. But I'm a big Predator fan. Everybody knows I'm a big Nashville Predator fan. So I would move closer to Nashville so that I could go see them if they're ever allowed to play again.
Yeah.
This damn Corona thing is wearing me out. So, but anyway, I would probably move closer to the city. Now, I wouldn't move in the city.
Yeah.
I'd move on the outskirts.
That's
like I said, there's some conveniences to being close to a big
There
city.
are, yeah. I mean, you can usually find what you're looking for.
Better cell phone signals.
Yeah, well.
That's true, too, yeah.
And that's one of the things living out in the country that is, well, I mean, there's some benefits to living to the country, but one of the drawbacks is you have to go to the city to find anything.
Yeah. Jobs and stuff.
You got to drive at least 45 minutes to an hour.
And most of the time, those cities don't have what you're looking for. Yeah, I mean, usually you got to do a lot of ordering online because that's where the stuff is.
That's true. I mean, the cool thing about being in the country, and I would prefer to live in the country because I've seen some stuff in the big cities that I don't like.
Yeah.
Anywhere specifically though?
Country wise,
if you had a choice,
I used to like living in Sevier County, but I don't anymore because now there's
just
too much crap.
Yeah, it's too touristy.
I mean, to be honest, believe it or not, Bean Station's not a bad place to live.
Beantown.
I mean, it's quiet.
Not Boston.
It's laid back. You don't really worry too much about crime much. I mean, there is a lot of crime here too.
Oh, we live in a great place, no doubt. We live in a really nice place, but
will it remain that way? Who knows?
Yeah, but then again, we live under the rock.
Well, that's true too.
There's they roll the streets up at 9 o'clock. There's nowhere. There ain't even any streets.
Yeah, that's true.
And even the nearest town, 9 o'clock, it's shut down. And I mean that's cool, and I ain't got a problem with that. But as I get older, I guess it doesn't matter. But as a younger guy, it used to aggravate me. Man, everything closes darn early here.
There isn't a lot to do. I get it. If I had a choice, I still pick here. Also, I live in Mooresburg, but I pick here because Tennessee is almost like in the middle of like the east side of the United States, so you can travel by car at least if you needed to all the way up to
most of the major attractions.
Yeah, all the major stuff on the east side. So you get south and you get north, and you can kind of,
I'm kind of like Troy. I'd like to travel out west. There's a lot of stuff I'd like to see out that way.
I would too.
I want to go out to Arizona and see, the Grand Canyon.
I want to see that.
I want to see.
I want
to see Vegas. I've never been to Vegas.
I've never
They
been
say
to
now. You
Vegas.
say the lights and the eye candy's fabulous in New York. I bet Vegas can
The
put on a
shows.
show.
Rhonda's been to Vegas twice.
The shows would be fun.
I would love to go out there. She said you do need to go out there at least one time. See
I'd say it's unbelievable. I bet you were talking about the billboards. I'd say Vegas can compete with New York.
Yeah, I would say it can too.
I've never been to either one, but I'd say they can.
Yeah.
I'd love to go, and may someday. If they ever let us travel again, maybe we can go together. Yeah.
One day.
Yeah,
but
if we ever do get to travel again. Yeah.
But I would love to see some of these big cities.
But there's perks to both. There honestly is. I love, even in the South, I was telling Eddie the other day, we were driving by some old houses, and I said, I'd love to have one of them houses.
Yeah.
I just love the way they uniquely lay out the rooms in these
it
really
must be
old houses.
From your past, though, where you lived
I
up in
think
Detroit
so.
and lived in the older house.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it was just, it was cool. It was
He
unique.
likes hiding in the closet.
He likes to hide in the closet.
Oh, hush. Not the stupid closet.
But no, I would
this is
love. My wife and I, one of our favorite trips, we've always, and I think I've told y'all, and I may have said it on a previous podcast, we want to do the trip where we leave and go south and travel all the way down south, all the way out to California, up the coast of California, all the way into
Drive
Washington
up Route
State.
66.
Yeah, and then come all the way back, see, and up north and see, and just kind of make a circle around
My
the whole United
wife's
States.
friend
Be
has
wonderful.
done that. They went out west once and drove everywhere. I mean, they drove
That'd be,
how many
that'd be
miles it was.
fabulous.
Then they went up north to like New Hampshire and that area, and I'm sure it's beautiful up there too. That would be kind of cool too. But
Yeah.
there's advantages to both. But
Yeah.
I love now. I'm probably more of a country person
Country.
He's a country mouse now.
I'm serious. I mean, it's beautiful here in Tennessee, East
Yeah, it
Tennessee.
is. It
So
is
what
right.
about you, Millennial? If you could move anywhere, where would you move?
Oh, it would be here.
You live here. You don't want
Well,
to move.
the reason
He
You don't
don't
want to
go
live in the
nowhere.
city.
He's going nowhere.
Yeah, man, it's
Wait a
hard.
minute. He's a millennial. He's supposed to have these high aspirations. I'm going to move to New York
Well,
and get a
only
job
if he-
in a skyscraper.
Only if he has a penthouse in New York
Yeah.
City.
Had I
For nothing.
had I not had any family and I hadn't,
If it was
nothing,
just you,
it was just me. Probably would. Yeah, I'd probably try the city out. But
you would not want to.
I wouldn't want to take my city or my kids to the city. Yeah,
to live and grow up in the city. It's a lot different.
You,
Yeah.
you
But they
would-
learn what's right and wrong a lot quicker in the city.
Go ahead.
But the reason why I would do it is because, like I said, you can travel both ways. I like the fact that if I want to go all the way to New York, I can go to New York. If I want to go down to
Disney World.
Disney World, I can go to Disney World. I don't like traveling long in a car.
Yeah.
That's my problem.
There's a song that reminds me of
Oh,
you
it's
in
gonna
the
be
city.
stupid.
No, it's a bluegrass song, and it's by Larry
Like you
Sparks.
said.
Larry Sparks, yeah, Larry Sparks is fabulous. For you folks who listen to bluegrass, he's an older guy. He plays a kind of traditional bluegrass, but he's fabulous. I love him. And he's got a song. He's one of his most famous songs called "John Deere Tractor," and it talks about him moving to the city. And it talks about he feels like a John Deere tractor in a half-acre field trying to plow a furrow where the soil is made of steel. And it's basically he went to the city and tried to live, and he found out quickly that city wasn't for him. So, yeah, that you'd
I
probably
get it.
be like
It's-
the John Deere tractor. You
it's
get up
not
there and
for
you find
everybody.
out, man, I got to get out of this place.
It's not for everybody. I mean, I'm sure there's people that live in the city that love it there. I mean,
yeah,
there's things
absolutely.
about New York that I thought, man, if I did live in one of them penthouses, that'd be freaking awesome to get up and look at that view every morning.
The sunset coming up or something, or,
crazy.
or
Coming
sunrise
up.
or sunset.
Sun rising.
Yeah, sunrise or sunset.
It always rises there first.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
All right, so I guess it's getting time. I don't know. Do you have any?
Oh, yeah.
Of course, we have to listen to this. It's time for Eddie's.
Fun.
Well, they're no fun.
Facts.
Fun facts of the day with the Millennial.
Oh, yeah. Fun facts.
Yeah.
Open up them ears and listen. I'm about to give you some fun fact. Listen. I don't know.
Open up your ears and listen.
I have nothing. What rhymes with
The cat
listen?
is pissing.
There's nothing. What rhymes with listen? I picked
Listen.
the wrong word.
Pissing.
Yeah, that one does it. I can't use that.
You're going to
Which is-
listen to me.
I'm
while
gonna
Which is
have
I'm
what most
pissing.
people do while you're reading the fun facts. They go and take a bathroom break.
That's true.
Well, on your bathroom break, while you got your phone, turn it on and listen.
All right, what's
Okay.
the fun facts there, Millennial?
There are.
We've kind of talked about some of it, so we'll move through it pretty quick. Tea is synonymous with sweet tea. When we say tea, we mean sweet tea. We
Right.
don't mean regular tea. In the North, it's different.
Yep,
Saturday means college football. Yes.
that's true.
School will always be canceled when it snows, even if it snows just a little bit.
In the South, yes.
Yes, in the South. This is all for the South for the most part, I think. You own at least one item that is monogrammed. Is that something you all have done?
In the South?
That's
I
what
don't
they
know. That
say.
sounds like more of a northern
It says
thing.
the
Yeah.
South is just a little bit preppier. I don't know.
I don't know though. You do see these. Everybody's got them
On the gates and
Yeah,
stuff. That's
weird.
true. That's
Okay.
true. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Everything is fried.
Not anymore,
Oh, that's-
but used to, yes.
Yeah.
Pretty
Yes.
much, yeah.
Yes. I mean, it's like a fried Oreo or something.
Well, I guess it is fried. Even the air fryer's fried.
Even the people are fried. Half of them.
Okay, here you go.
That's pretty good.
The saying, bless your heart, is not a compliment.
Bless your heart. Yeah, that's
Bless
true.
your
It's demeaning.
You probably want to say that to
Bless
me.
your heart,
We say
Millennial.
that all the time.
The weather can drastically change at a moment's notice.
That's the truth.
Tennessee.
Yeah.
In Tennessee, it can be 75
It will be.
right now, and in 2 minutes it can be 30.
It's the weirdest thing ever.
Yeah.
It's like a miracle. A bad miracle.
Okay. That'd be a curse.
Lord,
then.
here we go.
Down in the South, we say y'all.
Y'all.
Not as bad as Paula Dean.
What's she
That's
say?
true.
Y'all.
She's definitely
She's y'all
Southern.
me to death.
She's like Mississippi Southern.
Yeah,
Now-
she's down there.
Now, this is big in the country. Not for everybody, but country music rocks.
Yeah, country music
is
ain't
for
country
my
music
wife. So much anymore.
It's not even country music now. It's pop.
Well, I mean, usually that is. My wife's big on country. She likes the old country.
The old stuff. Johnny
She likes
Cash,
Elvis.
Merle Haggard,
She likes
Elvis.
Elvis.
Elvis ain't country.
No, I know, but she likes
Oh.
Elvis. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, she likes some of that older stuff.
Cool.
So that's one. Yeah, I know you like bluegrass, which
Love
bluegrass is from Kentucky, which is still
Bluegrass
it's
is
the South,
from around here. It's
Well, I
it's the
thought- I
South.
thought it was.
It ain't
Yeah.
from nowhere. It's just the South.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Jeez,
Don't you
you have to give me your
do
history
not,
on the.
do not say that Kentucky is the birthplace of
Hey.
bluegrass music. I'll
Look.
have to kill you.
Look, goat. It's his facts.
Yeah, look, go.
Goot.
Doesn't mean they're right.
Goot for you all.
Look,
It
look,
doesn't
goat.
mean it's,
Goot.
doesn't mean it's right. It's just his facts.
Well, that's true.
I like that. I'm gonna start saying
Totally
that.
wrong.
Look, goat, it's my time.
Yeah, well,
Okay, this is one I love. Barbecue is a staple, but don't confuse Texas barbecue with Carolina barbecue.
that's true. Do you know the difference?
I've never had. I don't
Texas
know
is
if
a
I've
lot
had
more
Texas.
spicier, isn't it?
Carolina barbecue is vinegar based. The barbecue sauce is usually made with vinegar. It's usually a little bit sour.
And then Texas is
They're more smoky.
smoky. Oh, okay, I'd like
Did not
both.
know that.
We should ask Greg Widener. He's our
Yeah.
barbecue expert.
That's true.
Yeah.
Simply smoked.
Simply smoked.
We do Buddy's barbecue about every Tuesday too. I like Buddy's.
All right, keep going.
No good.
Sorry, I was reminiscing. Entering your car after it's been sitting on a hot summer day is no joke.
That's the truth.
That's true.
Chicken and waffles is a totally appropriate food combination.
I've never ate that.
I've had that before.
I have.
There's-
I know.
I don't get it.
I ain't sure.
I think somebody who was on a drunk invented that. They'd eat anything.
This is true. It's more common for
I'll have
girls.
some chicken and waffles.
I just want some food.
It's more common for girls to wear dresses than jerseys to a football game, which is weird. They really dress up. at a football
You know, that might have been an old fact, but I don't think so today.
game. Oh, we did. Last time I went, they wear dresses. I
No,
mean,
they
it's
don't.
weird.
They wear them shorts with holes all in them.
Well, I'm saying dresses, but yes, I'm.
Abe
thinking
should
that.
know. He's been watching.
That's
I'm
right.
I'm just saying it's not really like football whatever.
Yeah,
Attire.
Go on.
Attire. Thank
Keep going. Hurry up.
you. Okay. Why are you hurrying me
Oh,
through
sorry,
this?
I didn't mean to say that. Sorry.
Gosh.
I'm gonna have talking country slow slang
It's
here.
not so fun for me.
Grits are a food staple.
I do like grits.
I hate grits.
I'm not
and
big
my
on grits
wife
either.
loves
Love 'em.
that crap.
Fun story, real quick.
What?
Fun story. Everything's fun. today. Fun facts,
So-
fun
Oh,
story.
it's so much fun.
It's just fun.
When I was a kid,
It was fun.
with my mama. She passed away last year, but she would always give me a hard time because I loved oatmeal, but I didn't realize that grits and oatmeal were two separate things.
Oh, yeah.
And I couldn't even say grits. I would say, "Mama, make me some grease."
Some grease.
I was meaning oatmeal, but I called it because I thought it was grits too. But I was saying
make me
grease.
some Crisco.
He'd laughed if she told him a big spoonful of Crisco down there. Here you
I
go,
know.
sonny.
I like a
lard.
stick of butter.
Need some lard.
We should have done our whole podcast in country slang.
Yeah, we should have.
I think we did.
That's true.
Come on, get up on that.
Rivers are meant for floating.
That's true.
I even said it
True.
country. Pickup trucks dominate the roadways.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
That's true too.
Barn dances are common.
Never
Not
been to
anymore.
I have been.
one.
Hot sauce goes with just about anything.
Texas Pete's big down here.
Not
Not
me.
me,
I've
yeah.
known people who have hot sauce in their pocket. They
Yeah.
carry it everywhere.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's not big on. I don't care. This is on mac and cheese too. That's pretty.
yeah, they do it
Intense.
on mac and cheese.
Crawfish bulls are a thing.
Ugh.
I've never done that, but that is a
Crawfish.
southern-
I've caught crawfish before. Seined for them in the riverbed.
Yeah, I've
Sang
seen
for
Seined. S-A-N-E, not sane.
Well, crawfish.
here,
Let
crawfish.
me eat you.
It's called seine. S-A-N-E. Seined.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's
I'm
southern.
gonna eat you.
I think it's. I don't
I'm
know
still
if
hearing
that's
saying. I
proper-
can't.
I don't
help
know
it.
if that's proper
suck
spelling.
their
But nevertheless, let me explain it to you there. Fun fact. It's a net. And you take this giant net and you stick it on. Somebody holds it. And then somebody gets up the river. and kicks the rocks around, and anything that
Floats
comes
down.
down gets in that net, and you got a giant batch of crawfish.
There you
Learned
go.
that from my grandfather.
Well, I've never ate one.
I've never ate one, but I've caught a few.
They look nasty.
Yeah.
They look like little lobsters to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like lobster either. So.
I don't want to crack it. Maybe I probably would.
Suck
Its
the
legs.
head.
I don't like
that's
its.
what they do.
Listen, I don't like its legs. It looks like a spider. But that's weird because I can eat crab. I don't
I
know.
don't know. You're just strange.
I'm
anyway,
strange.
so that-
Let's get to the end of this thing.
Are you ready for it to be done? We're having fun.
Oh,
You
Okay.
are, maybe.
It's not all open fields and farms.
pretty much.
Everything beyond the front door is called the porch.
That's true.
Now, is that different in the north? Do they have porches?
They have porches in the north. We just don't sit out on them because it's too damn hot.
Probably got all the pollution.
All the humidity from
Have to wear one of them masks.
Well, that too, probably.
Hazard suit.
I don't think I ever saw anybody sit out on the front porch.
That's because they're afraid they'd get shot, probably. So.
Probably.
Southern fast food chains like Whataburger, Raising Cane's, Bojangles, Cookout, and Waffle House are the best.
Yeah, those are.
Hey, listen, if you ain't had none of them at Devil's Chicken from Popeyes, you need it.
Yeah, that's Satan's chicken. For sure.
You might as well just open up a vein and let the grease go in.
I like Popeyes.
Oh,
You
it's
even
good.
feel like you're dying when you eat it.
Yeah.
If they keep this one open long enough for people to
I
eat at it,
know.
we got one in Morristown. I don't know what the heck's wrong with them. They close every week. I think they just can't find anybody to work there
Probably.
Okay.
They got good chicken though.
That is good.
when they work.
Now, if you want to know why I call it Devil's Chicken, it's because Chick-fil-A has the Jesus Chicken. So that's
That's
right.
right. So it's the
Sometimes you got.
yin and yang of chicken.
Yeah. And when you think of Louisiana, I always think of like.
I think of New Orleans.
I think of New Orleans, yes, and I think of like
which I have been there. That's a big city I've been to.
New Orleans.
Yes, I love New Orleans. It's nasty. It is nasty. And if you,
why he loves it.
I love it.
that nasty
But if you walk and Bourbon Street, whoa, that's I'm gonna
food,
tell you.
though.
I'm gonna tell you, Bourbon Street from the point of view of a country fella is a real shocker. You'll see stuff you ain't never seen in your life on Bourbon Street.
But
Anyway, it's cool.
But you said the food is.
The food, they could
Wonderful.
cook a shoe. I'm telling you, they could take Abe's
But you eat
shoe
a
and him wear it barefoot for 3 years, and it stank like crap. And they take his nasty ass shoe, and they cook it, and you'd eat it, and you'd go, "Oh my
Best
God,
damn
that is
shoe
the
I ever
best
had."
thing
So-
I ever eaten in my life." Can you please, Abe, take your other shoe off? We're gonna cook it.
So do you think that they probably cooked spoiled stuff?
I don't know. It doesn't matter if they cook spoiled stuff. It'd be great. It'd be the best spoiled stuff you ever ate.
Wow, I've
I'm
never
telling
been
you,
there. I'd
them
like to
people-
go. I love
Them
food.
people can cook. That the spices
want
and
to.
the combination that they use, it's
I'm
just
hungry.
fabulous.
Yeah, I'll give you one. Up north or down here, we call things. Well, like when we want a soda or a Coke,
Oh gosh, you
Oh,
call
yeah.
them pops.
call them Papa.
Oh my
Not
God,
dope.
Patty. Hey,
want
I
a
know you're
pop.
going to listen to this, Patty. Pop. I give her hell all the time. It's not a pop.
Just
It's
go down to
everything's
the
a
corner
Coke.
store to get a pop.
Well, who calls it dope?
That's the South.
Drug dealers.
They do. I used to call them dope down here, which is dumb as crap.
Because they.
I call everything Coke. It doesn't
Me
matter if
too.
it's a Mountain Dew,
Yeah.
it's a Coke.
It's Coke, yeah. That's what people say. Oh, you mean a Pepsi?
No, I
Hell,
mean
I
a
don't
Coke.
care. It's
I don't care.
Coke.
It's Coke.
I told my son today, we were sitting there, I'm like, you drinking a soda? He says, no, it's not. It's a Sprite.
I will
Yeah.
say, up north, Pepsi is a little more prevalent.
Is it really? Nasty.
I like Coke better.
Yeah, me too.
I do too, but you know.
Okay, moving on. That was fun.
Oh Lord.
See? It's been fun. So
This one I will give you. This one has been better than most.
I told you it would be.
Yeah,
Been a little long though.
it
Well, that's
is.
because y'all keep talking. You won't shut up and give me my time.
There we go.
Okay, a shopping cart is called a buggy.
Yep.
Is that, are there any buggies up in
No.
North? Well, what do they use?
Shopping carts.
A cart.
A cart. Okay. Getting stuck behind a tractor trailer, behind a tractor is the worst. Now that is bad.
It happens. Yeah.
That's
Lots.
Country road. Yeah, you're tough out of luck. And that's it.
Oh, well,
That was
that
your-
has been, and I'll say it, that has been fun
Fun.
facts. And it was
Very-
actually fun
actually entertaining that time.
with the Millennial.
Oh yeah. Gotta give it to you. The fun facts. Fun facts with me. Oh.
What's Abe? What are you doing, Abe?
Hey man.
rap, man.
It's fun, dude. You need to start rapping too.
As I've said in previous podcasts, Abe says this is a porn song.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a millennial.
I'm not
song.
going to go there.
All right, so that was fun facts from the Millennial. Good job. That was actually fun.
Well, you know.
Actually, interesting.
That's the first one.
Yeah.
There's, first time for everything. That was fun.
So.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
But anyway, that's basically city living versus country living. There's a lot of differences, and there's some similarities too.
Yeah.
And both are equally as good. I mean, when I lived up there the first time, I loved it. Didn't want to come down here.
Yeah.
But when I moved down here and went back up there, I didn't want to stay up there. I wanted to stay down here. So, I mean, it's just, it's what you get exposed to. So,
I'd like to go and just experience it. I've never experienced the cities, the big cities living there. I do love to visit. I love to travel. So maybe I can travel sometime before I croak.
So which one are you going to be, a country boy or a city slicker?
I don't know. I'm going to be
I'm a country slicker.
I'm going to be a traveler.
I'm a country boy.
I'm just going to travel. Not going to be nothing. I'm but a traveler.
He's a hippie.
Country.
Listen, goat.
Goot. Goot.
Yeah, you're going to be a hippie. Or what is it? Nomad. You're
I'm
nomad.
a nomad. That's right.
Yeah.
All right. So I guess we've covered everything. Well, crime
Pretty much
was the last topic that we
talked about the mafia a little
We
bit.
did
talked a
talk
little
about
bit about
crime.
crime.
Memphis is the worst.
Mm-hmm.
even when I was up there, I didn't really hear about a lot of crime. I'm sure there was plenty of drugs.
No social media then.
Besides drugs and gang fights. Now, there was some gang fights up there.
Yeah.
Did you watch
That
them?
is a little bit
You
different.
didn't want to be a casualty of war.
Either one.
Should have bet on them.
I mean, it wasn't like L.A. bad,
Yeah.
but it was. They had gangs up there,
Chicago.
too, though.
Yeah. All right, so I guess we've covered about everything from city versus country. As for me, I'll stay right here, I guess, and be in the country. I'd like to move out in the suburbs toward Nashville. Eddie's going to be a country mouse always.
Me too, probably.
And Abe, he don't know whether he wants to live in Detroit or if he wants to live
Hey, man,
down here.
Half and half.
He's,
born and raised.
yeah, well,
Detroit.
Rock City.
Give it to us. Come on, Abe.
What?
I know you said it when you were up there.
What?
Detroit Rock City.
No, I never said that.
Okay, never mind.
Never said that. I don't know what
Okay.
you're talking about.
No, I never said
Thought that was a thing. Sorry.
All right, so with that being said, I'm going to play out. And I know we could get in trouble for this, but I don't care.
It's coming to you, so I don't care.
It's coming around. It's coming to
The
me.
fine's
Anyway.
coming to you, so
I'm going to play.
My name is Pedro.
Instead of playing, instead of playing our typical exit music today, I'm going to play John Deere Tractor by Larry Sparks.
Okay, hold on though. Before you do that, remember, guys, tell us what you think. Do you like city living versus country living? Let us know. Leave a message on our Facebook, on our Twitter, any of the socials that we're on. Let us know what you think about country living versus city living. Even things that you had happen to you if you lived in the city or if you lived in the country. Let us know. We'd like to know.
We're also curious, are you from the city listening? Are you from the country? That would be cool, too.
That would be a cool
that'd be
thing to know.
too.
Yeah.
We love everything, man. Guys, it don't matter. I know we make fun of things on here, but
Yeah.
we love all the different states, all the different cities.
I'd love to see them all.
They all
Yeah.
got their great things,
Yep.
All right. Again, hit us up at straytopix.com, Facebook page, Twitter page. Check us out. Leave us a comment.
Absolutely.
We appreciate it. For the ones that are commenting, we really appreciate it. For the ones that are listening, we really appreciate you. And with that being said, I am Troy.
I'm Abe.
And I'm the millennial.
And we're going to play John Deere Tractor just for the millennial so he can get to hear about what it's like for a country boy to live in the city.
Country boy.
This is Larry Sparks off his album 40, and it was from 2005. And I suggest if you get a chance, listen to it. He is fabulous. So I don't know if you like bluegrass or not, but here we go. This is John Deere Tractor by Larry Sparks. And we'll see you next time on
The
Straytopix.
Hey, mama, here's a letter from your son. Well, I think my city days are done, mama, and it ain't been 3 weeks since I came. Hey, mama, I do remember what you said. Say your prayers before you go to bed, son. And remember, city women ain't the same. I'm like a John Deere tractor in a half-acre field, trying to plow a furrow where the soil is made of steel. Oh, I wish I was home where the bluegrass is growing and the sweet country girls don't complain. So much perfume, I thought I'd drown. And the Lord didn't seem to be nowhere around. Hey, I felt like a flower from the vine. Oh, she was pretty, Lord knows. Thought that she would bring me joy. She laughed, she called me country boy. And after she had been so kind, I'm like a John Deere tractor in a half